One of the things that all the things that God's asked me to do a lot of times seem very insignificant as related to career or my life. But what I have to realize is that when we do the little, seemingly insignificant things that God asks us to do, it will have us take off to the destination we've asked Him to take us in the first place.
Did you have to choose between being yourself and selling albums?
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Priscilla Shirer. Nice way to ask. I was at a place in my life and career, one, when I was miserable because I was defining success the wrong way. And I was having to manipulate who I was. And I wasn't having to, but I'm a kid, and 24 at that point.
A kid.
In an industry, and what do I need to do?
Yeah.
So I am manipulating who I am, putting on different sounds, changing my voice, not singing high, not doing runs, not doing all this stuff to be accepted. And I thought, what happens if one of these songs where I have manipulated my whole self becomes a hit? And I have success. That means I have to sing this song I do not like for the rest of my life. And then after I sing that song and have a hit on the radio, I still then cannot go write a check for peace after having this hit song.
Ooh,
so success cannot be defined by #1 on a radio station or everybody wanting you to come headline a festival. That cannot be success. And when I decided to redefine what success is to me and start chasing the peace, and going, it doesn't matter if there are 10 people or 100,000 people. If I have chased peace and defined peace as a conduit by which I'm going to achieve success, that is when I actually found my calling. I chased opportunities that lined up with peace. And that is how my career continued to move.
That's so great.
To move on.
That's so great. Because the reality is you have been at the big festival before. You've been on the platform where 20 or 30,000 people were in the audience for something you were invited to do. You've been on the television stations before, and you've been there and have wanted to just cry a river of tears because you're standing there in the position of success and you just felt complete turmoil on the inside.
Right. We as a culture, a lot of times, especially in our country, our culture defines success by what do you have? Tangibly, what do I have? What can I hold in my hands that I have worked hard for and I got? There's nothing wrong with having things, but if that is the end all, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because then there's going to be a major problem. I believe in working hard, but I believe in working hard to attain peace first. Chasing your, am I doing what I'm called to do, and am I at peace?
Yeah.
And that is, that's the definition. That's how I've had to define it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Also, so I don't want to jump ahead of you.
No, you're about to jump ahead of me. Okay, but before you jump ahead, I do want to ask you a question about something you said.
Okay.
Because I think it's very interesting that we kind of sit here for just a second. That there's one of your albums, it might be 2 or 3 albums in where, it might be the second one, I think. It's the only one, I think, where you are not on the cover. You are on the cover, but your face is not there because the record executives wanted you to actually have a picture of yourself, but excluding your face so that people would not know you were a black man.
Right.
And not because they're racist, but because they thought if they cannot classify you, the buyer, the potential buyer can't say that's a white guy or a black guy. If they just are going to zero in on the music, then maybe there's a possibility here we can sell some records if we just exclude what you actually look like.
Right.
And I think in that, and that was the record that has sold the absolute least of all of the ones that you've had, right?
Yeah.
The one where you basically were instructed to hide yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. And all those people are still, and again, I just want to protect them.
Yeah, you're honoring them. They mean well.
They're the reason why I have a career, but and those moves, they called me before a book came out. They called me and apologized for that whole moment. They were like, we don't know what we were thinking. We are so sorry. There will never be another moment where we ask you to do anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's just sad to me that not everybody's not gonna like every kind of music.
That's right.
But to go through those tactics with Christians, you shouldn't have to go through that. As we watch pop culture accept everybody and one station will play everybody's kind of music. But then on our side, it's very
it is divided.
It's very divided.
And you know what? It's so hard because we were actually at the Stellar Awards. We were invited to go there. Our family went together just for fun. And I remember you just whispering to me that it was kind of hard for you to be at the Stellar Awards. And the reason why was because there was a whole season of your life when you were younger and you're working in music and the industry and kind of building what it is that you felt like the Lord had entrusted you to do. and you weren't accepted necessarily in the gospel music industry. They didn't know what to do with you because your sound wasn't that. But then in the CCM, the Contemporary Christian Dove Award side, they didn't accept you there because you didn't quite fit in. So you were just trying to find your way, and all the while, did you just feel completely lost in all that?
I felt completely lost, and I was starting from a place of those words you heard earlier of you're worthless and never gonna do anything better than this. So I would think about that as opposed to thinking about, what's crazy is that I learned one of the greatest lessons from somebody who's not necessarily a church singer. Her name is Christina Aguilera, and she was my coach on The Voice. She said to me, look, when I was this pop princess, everybody wanted me to do one thing, and I started doing another, and I was scared to death because nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing that. Everybody was just cute and pop, and I was doing something else. And in going my own direction, even though I didn't know where I was going, I had to realize that I was blazing a trail for me and everybody behind me by being myself. And she was just talking to me, and I was like, I'm getting this life lesson from Christina Aguilera, who has no idea right now that she's speaking into my ministry by saying those words to me.
Yeah, be yourself.
Yes, be yourself, and you will not only be blazing a trail for you, but everybody behind you who wants to be able to just use the voice in the way they want to use their voice. And I mentioned a little story in here. This book is a lot about a couple key things. It's just about obedience in certain areas where I've had to, it's like little steps of obedience a lot of times unlock our freedom. And I learned this lesson on a plane. I fly a lot, y'all, and I don't like to fly. I don't like it. And I got to the point where, the announcement comes on, buckle your seatbelt, put your laptop up, and I've stopped listening to that announcement. I know I need to listen to it, but sometimes I'm just doing my own thing,
You rebellious,
I was being a little bit rebellious. I wasn't in full worship leader mode that day. And the flight attendant came for the third time and was like, yo, you need to buckle your seatbelt. We need to go. And she didn't say yo. Is that what you're about to say?
No, I was going to say, you holding up the whole flight.
Yes, I'm holding up the flight. And by the last time, she got down in my face a little bit and was like,
sir.
Yes, you have asked us to take, this is what she said. She said, you have asked us to take you to a destination, but you are refusing to do this seemingly insignificant thing. But when you do that, we will be able to take off and take you where you asked us to take you in the first place. And she said, not only will we take off with you, but everybody who's with you will also get to go to the destination too.
If you'll just do the little
insignificant thing. So one of the things that all the things that God's asked me to do a lot of times seem very insignificant as related to career or my life. But what I have to realize is that when we do the little seemingly insignificant things that God asks us to do, it will have us take off to the destination we've asked him to take us in the first place. And it won't just be us going, it'll be everybody who's with us that gets to go to the destination.
Yeah, that's great.
So that happens when you pursue your unique calling.
Great.
Yeah.
That's really great.